Media is all around us in each of our daily lives, more so than we are aware. Whether we're talking about articles we read in our magazines, things we see on the news each day, everything we see in the newspapers, or the stories we read in movies or talk about in the music industry, as a society we have a skewed perspective on people and various cultural groups before we have even gotten the chance to form our own opinions ourselves. This is solely based upon what we've been subjected to or led to believe as a result of the media. Our stereotypes and lack of education greatly affect interpersonal communication by forcing us to generalize individuals and not see an individual as a unique person with unique qualities. There are many factors that contribute to the issue, such as lack of education on the matter, not just the media outlets subjecting us to predetermined generalizations that they have created themselves. If we put in the work ourselves, researching each culture, each race, and each walk of life, and we put the blinders that music, movies, and the media in general provide us aside, we will be able to change the world little by little and extinguish stereotypes day by day. Typically, when referring to stereotypes, we are quick to blame the media for our generalizations and our participation in the matter. Many movies, such as Malibu's Most Wanted, stereotyped African Americans as being thugs or animals, so to speak. And on the other hand, white chicks stereotyped white women as being airheads or money-hungry divas, both of which could be farther from the truth. While the media has had a gigantic impact on intercultural communication by placing uncertainty and fear in us against a certain culture of people based on what we have been subjected to, lack of education has had a great impact as well. In an article written by Cassandra Martin in November 2010 titled A Statement About Stereotypes in Intercultural Communication, Martin states that in order to counter this problem, we must learn to, and I quote, educate ourselves and each other on our differences, our pasts, our current struggles, our fears, and our concerns. She also states later on in her article that we need to learn to focus on communication rather than our fears and uncertainties about people that appear different from us. In other words, with proper education on individuals that are from different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds, and different walks of life other than our own, many common stereotypes would be extinguished. When relating this subject back to what we have learned in class, the lesson from Unit 2 on Yu Ming traveling to Ireland comes to mind. Focusing on the lack of education and stereotyping the Irish culture, Yu Ming found himself completely lost when he finally made it to Ireland because he didn't properly educate himself prior to his journey. Had he done so, he would have realized that things were completely different than what he had thought. In our text, we are given recommendations to help solve our stereotyping problem that we have today, such as increasing mindfulness by being mindful rather than mindless of other people from other cultures, avoiding over-attribution, and the biggest one to me was to recognize differences. In order for anyone to do so, however, we must educate ourselves in the aspect that we realize the differences between ourselves and people from other cultures, our norms in comparison to the norms of people from other cultures, and our differences in dialect within a cultural group or social group that we are dealing with. Bottom line, it boils down to lack of communication. If individuals everywhere were properly educated, they would be more apt to recognize differences between themselves and other individuals no matter where they come from. Stereotypes affect our communication with other ethnicities, other cultures, and other individuals because the stereotypes we see as a generalization, we don't see people as individual people. Additionally, stereotyping paints a picture for a group or a culture as a generalization, which inhibits us all from seeing the positive, unique qualities each person possesses. With proper education and digging a little deeper, we will greatly impact interpersonal communication with a positive light and extinguish many stereotypes that we have today. Thank you for your time and consideration. Now go out there and get educated.